Hello and welcome to Alk Reviews Toys. Naturally, it's me, Alchemy Prime, and today we have Transformers Generations Rhinox. Now, this is, of course, one of the larger figurines. I want to say that this is I can't remember the class names right now. I will look up the class names and let you know. I grew up on Beast Wars, so this here is the kind of figure I always wanted. I always wanted a good Rhinox, and they never really made a good Rhinox. So the fact that we have this makes me very happy. So we're going to open this up and get started. Good old Rhinox. One of my favorite Transformers, one of my favorite Maximals. This toy has a lot of impressive features. First off, the little machine gun spin by pressing down on this lever, or I guess button, not lever. That's really impressive to me, just because he always had those in the show. It's cool. There's a lot more detailing on him than the one in the show, but the colors, as far as I can tell, are all show accurate, which is great. Also, if you look up at his head here, he even has the little Maximal symbols on his head that they might be a little bit too fine for the camera to pick up. But overall, very impressive little figurine. My only complaint I'm having with this one, and of course you're going to call me out on this because this is a complaint that my favorite toy reviewer, Bolt Matrix, has all the time, but it's true here. When I looked at the articulation on this figurine, most of it was actually really cool. And you have the nice ball joint in the hip, you have what seems to be a ratchet here, and a little swivel, but I have a feeling that's part of the transformation. I guess his toes go up. That's really part of the transformation. But this hip here is actually really loose. And he's not going to stay on my counter very well because of that. Always loved Rhinox's look, and his head sculpt captures that perfectly. Look at that head sculpt. It has the beard, it has the eyebrows, it has the ridge. Sadly, no light piping. I'm a light piping kind of guy, but beautifully painted on red eyes. So he actually looks like Rhinox did in the show. So, I have not looked at the instructions, but he's an intermediate, not an advanced, and I've been playing with Transformers since I was 5, maybe a little bit less if you count other robots that transform. I think I can figure this out. The confusing part will be figuring this out while I have the camera running. Okay, now, one thing that always bothered me with Rhinox is these teeth look way too sharp to be a rhino's teeth. Personal opinion, I don't think that's how rhino's teeth work. I'm starting to wonder if maybe the instructions were a good idea. Though, that seems to be based on a spine. Okay. You know, I'm questioning my idea of starting the transformations without reading the instructions. I'm going to go read the instructions, and I'll be right back. Okay, apparently according to the handy-dandy instructions that came with this, I was actually on the right path. He's trying to give me a thumbs up. He can't do it. Alright, so we are going to first extend the rhino head all the way out, and then take out the rhino jaw, and then it dislocates here, and it's a little tough, which is why I couldn't figure it out earlier. But it does dislocate there, and it's supposed to connect, which I guess it does. That looks like a rhino with a closed mouth. So now we're going to take his little rhino hands and separate them, and push up the hands themselves into the feet. And repeat that on the opposite side. There we go. You don't look very robot-y anymore, Rhinox. We're working on it, though. We're going to make you full rhino. We'll flip that up. That's supposed to be in there already, and I didn't do it. So we're going to rotate the hands, and we're going to push them so that the little rhino toesies are forward. Yeah, I call them toesies. Gonna do something about it? Like to see you try. Alrighty. And then we're gonna push them up like that. Kind of open his jaw there a little. That felt good. It's like getting your back popped. We're going to push them out because these are going to be rhino feet and they're going to go like this. And yes, I am double checking the instructions next to me as I do this because I don't want to mess up this figure. You saw him. I just opened him. I'm starting to wonder if the instructions are referring to a different piece than what I just grabbed here. From what I can tell, they are not. That is just the piece they mean. So I'm going to go like that and rotate them out. Set them like that. Also going to open these up a bit more so I can stop flipping the instructions over every 5 seconds. There we go. Now we're going to take his legs. And apparently we're going to... Whoa, sorry. Fell out of frame there for a second. Whoops. I'm going to take this part here. We're actually going to take his legs and rotate them all the way around on the hips. This is very common in the Beast Wars era, I'm noticing, as I get more classic Beast Wars toys in their re-releases. So we have this. It looks like this. We're actually going to bend his legs like this and actually flip. Sorry, let me angle the camera down a little better. There we go. Flip these like this. Yes. Just like that. Ooh boy. That does not look pretty. While we're here, I'm actually going to flip up the little robot feet. Because it seems like they're putting it towards the end for no reason, and that always bothers me. Okay, we're going to take this, push it all the way up on the edge of the little spine it's on, and do the same on the other side, so that they are covering the hips, which he is starting to get much more rhino-y, isn't he? I think so. Yep. And now we're going to take the rhino butt, and fold that into place here between the sides. And for some of you, this may bring back some Ace Ventura flashbacks. I'm sorry. There we go. And I guess this little part is supposed to clip into there, but it's rubber, which makes it on the one hand easier to kind of play with, but it is also plastic. It is also not plastic, so I'm never sure from what I'm getting with this when it's clipped in. Like, okay, these rhino panels, I can tell when they're clipped in, but not quite as well the rubber parts. I'm going to push these arms up into these cavities here, and I'm not... Whoa! Jaw's falling out, Rhinox. What's going on there? Apparently, this body cavity down here is where these little spinny guns go. So what we're going to do is we are going to combine the spinny guns by means of the backs of the spinny guns, apparently. Or, no, sorry, the front of the spinny guns. I got that backwards, as you do. And I guess they're supposed to just kind of clip together like Legos. Yeah, there they go. They clip together like Legos. There we are. So we're going to place these with right in here, I guess, which doesn't seem like they'll fit very well. But what do I know? I'm not a rhino. So looking at the diagram, I can't really tell which way they're supposed to go. I guess they're supposed to go with both the buttons facing his butt. And then push this down around it? Or... Oh, I messed up. That's why this isn't working. Haha! I got it. You're supposed to be able to fold part of this, apparently. Which... I am having a heck of a time figuring out... Ah, there it is. There it is. Okay. Now that we got that working, now let's try that over. Buttons towards the butt. Handles out. And I have a feeling that these are not going to clip in quite as nicely as, say, Wheeljacks, Swords, or Waspinator's Stinger. Now that I'm getting a good feel for this. Oof. Rhinox, suck it in. I gotta cram these into your craw here. Ugh. And this is the part of the toy that would have benefited from being made of the soft rubber. Because it just will not stay. Oh boy. Maybe the buttons aren't supposed to go towards the butt. Maybe the buttons go towards the front and I've been putting it in backwards. The instructions are actually a little hard to read on this part. Though looking at it, it does seem like they're supposed to go gun handles forward, buttons backward. And I'm just going to cut this part out. And here we have Rhinox in Rhino mode. Things I'm noticing, he does have a little bit of articulation, more than I expected at least. A little bit of an ankle. It's not much. He can actually kind of twist his front legs. He's got a jaw that goes like this. You have to be careful with it though, because of course his robot head's underneath it. And, oh god, Rhinox ate a robot! No! Battery's one of the Beast Wars mutants. His ears are sadly not ball-jointed like they appeared, but they're soft rubber, which is kind of cool. The horn is also soft rubber, in case kids want to poke themselves. Like this, poke, 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 poke. And the fact that the tail is the soft rubber is cool. There's apparently a hole right here that I was missing, trying to transform it through the camera. I really should transform these things in the future before I do it. Some minor complaints. One, this little flap. I wish it clipped in. The little nail holes that you can see there. But for the most part, and of course, robot kibble, but it's a transformer. I like robot kibble on a transformer just a little bit, because they're not going to look perfect. Now, animal kibble on like those Animorphs figures, yeah, that annoys me. That always annoyed me. But on the Transformers, I always accepted it for what it was. Beast Wars Rhinox, Transformers Generations Rhinox. Worth it? Well, he's Rhinox is always worth it. It's my favorite. Very nice Rhinox figure. Much better looking than the old Transmetal Rhinox was. And very show accurate, surprisingly. Though he's a much higher fidelity than the show ever gave us. I mean, he has very nice leathered skin. He's incredibly detailed to the point where this camera can't quite pick up all the details. Get him. He's $24 at Toys R Us. I'll have links for where to buy him on Amazon down below if you can't wait. And as always, thanks for watching. Stay golden, everybody. I still, as always, thanks for watching from Vsauce. They're gonna come after me. You're gonna protect me, right, Rhinox? You jerk! Waspinator never does this to me.